I think let's keep going. I think I want to try this one out. So we've played this archetype before. We've trophied with this archetype before. This is kind of a weird one. I call it Mono Green Maverick. I don't know if that is the appropriate name. We get to play a lot of Force of Vigors in this sideboard too. So the idea is that this is kind of the perfect shell for Icetill Explorer. This lets you play an extra land on each of your turns and lets you play lands from the graveyard. And when you play a land, you mill a card, although that aspect is not super relevant here. But the idea is you get to loop Ghost Quarters, 2 Ghost Quarters a turn to like lock your opponent out of playing lands. You also, against creature decks, can set up for, you can green sun for 6 Spore Frog, which is fun sometimes. You're also a K-Command deck. But funny enough, you're not a K-Command deck that's playing Eldrazi Temple. You're playing Halfling, Ghost Quarter, and the Fields as the enablers for it, because it's just not really very possible to play less green sources in this build, but you make so much mana in this build that it usually ends up being okay. At least that was our experience when we played this last time. So it's just a nice Green Sun Zenith Maverick deck. I'm playing one Emrakul too, just because it ends up being really castable with like all the different types. We're playing Rumble, we're playing K-Command, we're playing Freestar to look out. So it ends up just being really castable in the deck. So you can like K-Command dig for it to like have some inevitability in the late game. Also not bad if you end up milling it with Woodland. Yeah, no Saga in this build. Would rather be playing just like the field effects instead. Icetill. Thoughts about Flare. You need to play Halfling over Grazer Flare. One, because it's less slots, but also a Halfling makes your Legends uncounterable, which is kind of nice, but also it taps for Colorless to fix for your K-Command. So you don't have enough Colorless without the Halflings. Have I thought on why not to include Analyst over Halfling or Bobble? I wouldn't think that card would be good in this deck. Oh, dang, I just noticed that this wasn't forced. I wouldn't think that card would be good in the deck. Like, just like 6 mana, put a bunch of lands into play, don't impact the board, isn't like, that's not how you make good use of Aftermath Analyst. Alright, you will live, Dryad Arbor. Dr. Blondie with the 51 months, thank you, welcome back. Nantuko could go hard with Icetill Explorer. Oh, baby. I do like Nantuko. So, funny enough, I feel like Spirebluff Canal likely means that they're playing Affinity. The Affinity builds might be really cold to 6 plus Spore Frog, by the way. Yeah. Uh-oh. Fun. Okay, we got 4 Force of Vigors and a Collector Oof to Green Sun 4, so we are prepared. Could this be a Sunken Citadel deck? Could be. How do they beat Fog every turn? I don't think that their builds can. So I'm hoping they can't at least. I think I do want to play the Icetill Explorer this turn though. I'm not too scared of this. And they probably are only playing like 1, maybe 2 basics, and if that's the case, then we can start recurring this Ghost Quarter. Do they not play Lantern? I guess Lantern could break it up. Although we were pretty good at killing their Urza Saga at the very least. So yeah, probably going to Green Sun Zenith for Spore Frog this turn, which is very fun. We do have to also make sure we keep drawing lands, which may not be the easiest. If I draw a land, we'll need to hold it. Also Green Sun Zenith for Nissa, since I'm about to get the land drops here. Why don't we start off and get ready to rumble? So we do find a land, so let's probably just try to save that for the Spore Frog next turn, though. Well, we get to do this already. I already get to double strip mine them. Oh, you know what? Although I could have milled the frogs. I needed the Green Sun first. Not the usual frog you talk about when you talk about frog in Modern, I guess. I think this is a better Force of Vigor deck because we're all green cards than the Bear Corrosion. I mean, you could do a split though, I guess. So the idea of these like really board stall games, we're trying to set up for Emrakul the Promised End or Titania plus Sylvan Safekeeper to break up the board stall. I might take like 8 though this turn. Take 9. Take 10. Yeah, I think I could go to 10. Another indestructible land. Yeah, Affinity does seem very popular today. Maybe I should... Yeah, I guess I don't need to play the 6 this turn. It would be nice to be able to attack with it next turn. But I think I could just try to K command instead and maybe try to find Emrakul. Not that Emrakul's doing it that much, but I can still just Spore Frog next turn. I can also try to find Titania too, or Green Sun for Titania. Have you considered putting a bounce in this deck so you can loot permanents with Icetill and 6? I heard there's a pretty cool combo with that. Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Aftermath stuff does a lot. But you could play a bounce land, I guess. I don't think it would really be that big of a deal if you did play one. All right, so they got 2 cards in their hand. Bit annoying that their lands are indestructible. So we do find Titania. I think I'm keeping the woodland also. So let's go Uncounterable Titania. Bring back the Ghost Quarter. Trigger this. Cast 6. Cast Spore Frog. Then I think I need to go Ghost Quarter my own cards so that I can get an extra token here. Wait, is this extra? Yeah, it is extra. I do get extra mana too, which I could potentially use to retrace something. I don't really have anything I want to retrace right now, but I am milling stuff with my Icetill Explorer. Maybe the mill on this is going to end up being more relevant in this deck than I expected it to be. So play a Ghost Quarter, mill a card. Play a Ghost Quarter, mill a card. I could bring back another Icetill Explorer and I could play one more land from the yard, but that's technically one less elemental. But yeah, that's a good first showing for Icetill Explorer, I tell you what. I don't know if I want the Veil of Summers. So I'm boarding in a lot of cards here. I do think I want... Maybe I don't need the Emrakul. Maybe... I'm going to cut the Endurance. Maybe the Emrakul is unnecessary since it seems like the Titania is going to win the game. Let's just sideboard with that idea. The Spore Frog was really good there, thankfully. Trim like this. Yeah, definitely a really good look for Icetill. Do you think you social engineering would fit in this deck? I guess I can reread that one. That's the landfall one. Yeah, this one it might be a good one. You'd have to fit actual fetch lands into the deck, which is pretty difficult to do. I mostly think that card's like 4-color Omnath with Felia. I'm probably keeping some Force of Vigor on the draw. And this Dryad Arbor shouldn't really die very often. Also, like, we have Explorer plus Ghost Quarter that can get them down just to their indestructible lands. They're on a multi 6. Let's keep. But yeah, I was thinking with you social engineering, it's like you play it, and like if you're playing a like maybe you play like the 4-color Omnath shell we played, and you're playing Felia and you're playing Quantum Riddler, and you're also playing engineering, and so when you can scam it with Felia, which is good. It's like really good when that happens. But you can also just use it as 2 mana, make 2/2/2s, and then later it's like a 5 mana Field of the Dead you can hard cast. Is kind of how I'm thinking about that one. All right, definitely a very slow hand, but a hand with Force of Vigor, so it can afford to be slow. Need a Shadow Spear so I can kill indestructible artifact lands. All right, they did mulligan to 6. You can definitely keep a lot of speculative hands as affinity. Yeah, you can pitch Dryad Arbor to Forest, but I'm just going to pitch the second Explorer. So they're probably going to cast Pinnacle Emissary next. No, they cast a Cranial Plating. Worth it, I think. Although I guess this might give them reason to play another Opal if they have another Opal. Okay, they conceded, so it seems like we found the right line there. All right, keeping this on the draw. My opponent is on a Molda 6 on the play. So, okay, so much affinity today. But the rest of the sideboards you see from me this week will be packing a lot of affinity hate. I mean, we have 4 Force of Vigors and an Oof here, but... Could you play 1 Grist to Green Sun 4? Not the black-green one, and not the other one because that one sucks, but... I'm not. You can't really splash a color very comfortably, and... Also, that card's just not that good. Like, when Black-Green Grist became a card that was, like, actively bad in the Boros matchup, the main grindy matchup of the format, like, Grist lost so much value. All right, they're just past the turn here. Do we field this turn? I think we field them, yeah. Let's play versus Belcher once, please. Yes, please. What's with all the affinity? I mean, it's like people love to play affinity. Affinity is like one of Modern's most popular archetypes. People really, really enjoy playing it. And whenever a card like a really good card like Pinnacle Emissary gets printed for it, people are always excited to jam it. And that card is really good. We were playing a lot of it last week. And another thing too is it's like the builds are not like perfectly hammered out. There's a lot of directions you can go. And so I'm happy to see people working on it. Do not register Confounded Conundrum. That card is so embarrassing to register. Okay, just hard cast an Emissary. And then play 2 baubles that they were sandbagging. It's a refuel for this next turn. I'm going to be a mana short of exiling the Emissary with my commands. So I think I'll just cast 6. The reach on is pretty good here. I don't think we ever did anything effective with MH3/6. It's possible like one day there's a metagame where like the main deck disenchant's really good, and it's possible. Ooh. 10 damage. I think I got to take 10, but the K commands can be pretty good at cleaning up the tokens. Like just like fog a token for turn, exile, draw. We also can find our Spore Frog. Spore Frog was how we won our first game in this matchup, this league. Yeah, this is a deck that can play Fracturing Gust compared to the other one. Like the triple green's more doable, and we have Acceleration. Okay, we mill a free Strider Lookout, which I guess I'm gonna retrace, and then we can, assuming they don't have another Mox Opal, K command and commit a crime too. Probably discarding a Field of Ruin to cast it. Okay, this is good for us that they're rebuking this and not the K command, because that is the card we need to live. Obviously, insane draw. Need to dodge another rebuke and a Springleaf Drum. Or Opal, maybe. No, we don't. Opal, they can't attach in a relevant way. So it looks like we are going to live for this turn. Don't know so much about next turn. I guess they could still have another rebuke. Looking for a Green Sun or a Spore Frog. So I'm taking 6. I'm down to 4. They move the cranial plating over to Thought Monitor, which I can't do this thing I just did on that. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to K command and give ourselves the ability to find Green Sun Zenith. So we're not going to play the Forest yet. So we need a Green Sun Zenith or a Spore Frog, or we're out of there. Found one. I wonder what I do wonder what's going through my opponent's head when I cast this Green Sun. Like, do they think a Green Sun for? Do they know a Green Sun for 1 is the best possible thing? And if you don't know, chatters, we could just keep looping Spore Frog with this Rin and 6. That's the idea, at least, or so the 6. No Rin yet. So they play a Steam Vince, 2 cards in hand. Kappa Cannoneer? Yeah. We went 2-0 to 2-3, sadly, with the Sultai deck, but it seems like also our plan against Affinity just mostly wasn't good. That was kind of my main takeaway. I did like the deck overall. Yeah, you also, that's true, Icetill Explorer, Shifting Woodland, Loops Frog. Another K command. I think we're going to play Titania this turn, though. Any changes you make to say Riddler mid-range for Affinity 3 Wraths hasn't felt like a good answer to Kappa. Well, you gotta Wrath them before the Kappa comes down. Solitude can answer Kappa Cannoneer too. Like there literally isn't a better card in the format though. Like you could play, like you don't really want to play Wrath and Stony together. I guess you can. It's not that big a deal, I guess. Either way. I'm probably not restricting that much out of their deck with this line, but on scale 1 to 10, how on my radar is Fiddlebender? I mean, the Fiddlebender decks were pretty good when we were messing with them last time. I'm not going to give you a 1 through 10. I don't know, but it was fine. Totally fine. Not one of the more interesting things to be doing right now, I think. Maybe with the warp stuff, there's something I'm missing. All right, so now that their Kappa Cannoneer is a 6/6, it is a bit awkward that my elemental tokens don't have great attack. Alright, so they're out of cards in their hand. So I could retrace Free Strider Lookout and the Spore Frog. And what's kind of interesting about that is that it lets me dig for Shifting Woodland. I think I'm going to do it. I'm not sure that this is correct necessarily. Could save the K command for next turn. Yeah, I think it's not even impossible that they're not playing main deck removal. I think it's not even likely that they have main deck removal spells. Yeah, I've been struggling with the affinity deck. Try registering this random this random frog. Okay, pretty bad attack with the Kappa Cannoneer because now I can send in with my elemental tokens. Although I guess they can also just like equip the Shadow Spear on something and the plating. Well, they also don't do that. So I need to find a land to be able to loop the Spore Frog this turn. I guess I could attack with the 6, and if they just block with the Pinnacle Emissary, then I can just K-command the Pinnacle Emissary if I find a land off that. And then otherwise I could like just scry draw looking for a land. If I Besage You, which is a super interesting land to find. Maybe could have attacked with the Free Strider. Yeah, I think we just exile the Pinnacle Emissary, scry draw. And then we can go retrace the Spore Frog off of the Besage You. And then we can Green Sun Zenith for... Okay, there's a woodland. Okay, then we can Green Sun Zenith for... I think I'll take another K command over a land. Obviously, land's really good, but... Right, we can Green Sun Zenith for Sylvan Safekeeper to make a bunch of more elementals. Yeah, I could also try to Green Sun for the new 4-mana creature, so we have the permanent lock. There goes Scry. Well, I know, but we got the card we wanted. So they equip over here. Yeah, this is kind of the problem, unless they just don't think about it in attack. So I think that making all of my lands elementals is lethal. I guess they can move the Shadow Spear over to the Kappa Cannoneer. Okay, they do that. All right, so let's say that they're effectively at 28. I can attack, and then I can add 8 more 5/3s. I'm actually just gonna. I can't remember the last time I got a calculator out to do just regular math. Okay, so I have 8 5/3s in play plus another 4, so that's 12 times 5 is 60 damage. They're at 28 effectively, and they're blocking 10 of it. So, okay, seems super lethal. Yeah, we could also K-command maybe the creature that gets blocked, although this is super lethal, so we don't need to... Listen, I failed my math appreciation class, but... I think this is going to be enough. I also didn't even count my other creatures attacking to him. But these can't block creatures without flying. Super duper relevant line of text. Elementals do not trample, but these can't block. If one of their creatures tried to commit crime, I think you can only target your own creatures. Cool. Well, it's very funny that we've tested this plan in the matchup. This plan in the matchup seems reliable. And then we got the endurance, we got the Emrakul, we got one bauble, one free strider, one halfling, and then click submit. Then I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. All right, let's mulligan this. We don't have a Force of Vigor. Wow, a Force of Vigor. Stupid Dryad Arbor won't leave me alone, also. I actually think I'm going to keep it in the hand, though. I might pitch it to the Force. But it's also an Amolda 6. It's a really long match 1. I didn't realize how long it was. It's very funny that I'm ahead on clock after that match. You know what I mean? I don't know how I ended up ahead on clock after that. Don't love this upkeep stop they've got. Well, makes me think they might. I don't know. Okay, well, maybe not then. I think I'll pitch the Arbor. Last time we Force Vigored our Affinity opponent in this, like last match, they just conceded. The Force of Vigor wasn't as good as this one was. There's a Tormod's Crypt, there's a Bauble. And they pass. Maybe they have a Rebuke. So if I don't take the Sylvan Safekeeper, they can Tormod's Crypt me off of Safekeeper Titania. That might not be that big of a dealio. I think I want to take the Icetill Explorer, although I don't have another green right now. I guess I could take 6, and then like that kind of forces the Relic pop a little bit. I'm taking the Explorer, I guess. I don't know. If they had Rebuke, probably safe to say they used the Keep Saga. They couldn't have, because I Force Vigored in response to the ability of Saga to make mana. I don't know why they're not cracking the Bauble. Like, they must have a Rebuke, I guess, but... It's just a little bit weird. Looking for a Ghost Quarter here. Didn't find it. They do have Rebuke, okay. Weird they didn't rebuke the first one. They definitely had it up. So let's see if they pop the Tormod's Crypt. I think it's better to play this first. Okay, good that they don't. Trying to save it for the Spore Frog loop, although I don't really think we're going to get to that point in this game. Could prove me wrong. There's another copy of Springleaf Drum. I mean, I guess one thing is I can't target their stuff. Let's see if I can find Ghost Quarter. They're just, Affinity players, please sack your baubles. Also, just like, can you please sack your Mishra's baubles? Y'all are so silly the way you never sack them. Driving me crazy. I guess I can don't have to main phase this. And see if they don't crack the bauble. Do it upkeep. Or draw step. Do you have a favorite K-pop Demon Hunter song? I think Golden's the best one. All right. We went from losing to affinity with Sultai to beating affinity with Mono Green, huh? Yeah, I like playing these kind of decks. I think they're really fun to build and really fun to play. They feel very fresh. I would love to play against Belcher. Basic Forest, Wild Cantor. Cool. Basic Forest, Wild Cantor is... What's the card? Song of Creation? Must be Song of Creation, right? So I'm not very good against that game one, and then we got a bunch of Force Vigors. Okay. I don't know what the fuck's going on. No idea. I could endurance this, I guess. Okay. Neoform? I have no idea. They say, oh no, so I guess that was good. Or they're being sarcastic. I guess we play 6 this turn and go free starter plus Ghost Quarter next turn. This is the 2-0 bracket, by the way. My opponent's got Basic Forest, Wild Cantor, Basic Plains, Abiding Grace. Okay, they've reassembled their combo. What the fuck is happening? Ah! No way! No way we hit the Spore Frog mirror. Oh, wow. Can you only retrace on your turn? Yeah, only in my turn. So we could retrace ourselves to get endurance back in the deck, maybe. I think I'm more likely to want to try to retrace the Emrakul. So I'm curious how many more basics they got. Oh, sorry. I meant to click the Besage. I just want another green in play. Not the biggest deal. They might be on the mana base of all basics. Let's read this. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, reveal from the top of your library to reveal a creature card. Okay, so that's the combo. Abiding Grace plus Wild Cancer. This has revealed a Kami of False Hope, which is another Spore Frog, right? They are cooking. We're two. This is not what I thought we'd be playing against a 2-0, but I'm here for it. Fungus. Vulcan, the 21 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, so does this mean they have White Orchid Phantom in the main? We're going to get to see more and more creatures as they keep sacking the Cantor. Emrakul costs 9. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then 8 if I find a land, then 9. So I would have to draw a land for turn. Or maybe if I like mill K command with Rumble. Yeah, milling K command with Rumble gets there. Okay, so Spinner of Souls has revealed another Wild Cantor. We have one Besage in the deck. But I'm just going to Emrakul them, or my plan is to Emrakul them, and then Haywire Might the Abiding Grace. They hit another Haywire Might. Yeah, I think a Spore Frog is like is a Modern Masters card. I think it's might have been MH1. I think that's MH1. Can't really tell. I have literally no idea like what their payoff is. Like, how did they win a game? So if I draw a land, I can cast an Emrakul. I can also attack with the 6, then it just gets blocked, so never mind. Okay, I drew a land. Commit a crime. Commit a crime by Emrakul my opponent. You need to not have a might target in play while you Emrakul them? I don't. So I guess we don't retrace the bauble. Although they don't have green. Oh, they do have green mana. They also have 2 mites though. What is happening? This is so funny. Okay. I have never in my time casting Emrakuls and Mindslavers ever been more excited to take somebody's turn. Not once have I ever been more excited to take someone's turn. They reveal another Haywire Might. Arjun with the 11 months, thank you, welcome back. I can't think of a better time to resub than for the sick frog on frog action. Yeah, we have entered the Spore Frog Mirror. They draw a card with fungus, they reveal another fungus. So the idea is that they're getting to raise the past to loop-de-doop these wild Cantors. I'm gonna see if I can deck them. It's just too fun to not try to do that. Hall of Heliod's Generosity was revealed there. Oh wait, this card is 4 mana. Oh. Oh, maybe I've messed up here. Okay, we at least get to see the deck list. Sorry, I thought it was for some reason 2. Obviously, that'd be a little too good. There's no way they're winning with Thought Picker Witch. There's no way that's it. There's no way that's the best win condition. I also didn't see why they were playing Flagstones. Oh, I need to do a basic land check. I was too... How can I pay attention? I don't even think they can make infinite mana. Oh no, I Spore Frogged. I'm just gonna sit down. I don't even know that their deck is capable of winning. Did anybody get a basic land count? I know I was supposed to. Wait, they're 3-1 with this deck? I have no vision. I haven't, no. They have 1 more basic planes. Yeah, I was going to go score to them. Listen, I'm also playing Spore Frog, so I don't really have any right to criticize anybody, but... Oh, we just put a forest back in. Oops. I'm just too stunned. I don't know. Okay, no, we won. I don't know. I'm going to bring in Emrakul. Number 2. Dismember on their spinner seems incredibly good. Do I bring in Force of Vigor for Abiding Grace? That didn't really seem like Abiding Grace did a lot. I don't think I want more than 1 endurance. I don't think I care about Needle, despite it being subbing a lot of cards in their deck. Needle list for science. Well, you could go back and I Emrakul them. You can see the whole list. Oof. I mean, Oof stops Haywire Might, which we don't care about. Doesn't stop anything else, right? Needle against activated ability seems fine. Well, I'm not going to Needle Spore Frog. I'm not going to Needle Thought Picker Witch. So it doesn't seem fine, right? We're all missing something, though. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Oh, yeah, I'll cut the Spore Frog. And the Spore Frog mirror, let's cut the Spore Frog. Oh my gosh. Spore Frog seems a good name. Well, I like why? I'm just gonna like Ghost Quarter them until they have no lands. I'm gonna Emrakul them. Why do I care about the combat step? They have 2 Spore Frogs. They have Kami of the False Hopes and they have Spore Frog. They boarded in Deafening Silence, so it's just craziness. The madness continues. Yeah, they also have Haywire Might for the Needle, so it's like they have 4 Haywire Mights in their main deck. Okay, so a second in that. Wait, isn't Deafening Silence better like against their deck than against my deck? Like, surely this is like hurting them more than it's hurting me. I mean, my deck has non-creature spells, but it's not that often I want to cast more than 1 a turn. They mostly play creatures. Yeah, I mean, but are they going to want to like raise from the past like twice at a turn? I guess I should dismember this. Maybe that's bad against the 1-drop recursion. I think I'm just going to go explore, play a land from my graveyard. They only have 2 cards in their hand. Is their plan basically get all the 1-mana 1/1 to the yard, pat, then mass reanimate? I think so, but the problem is like then all they have is Thought Picker, which to like exile like a few cards. So I think their real plan is like Spore Frog over and over and hope that's good enough. Okay, actually, I know how they're 3-1. There's so much affinity in the leagues right now that Abiding Grace Spore Frog is just not like a beatable. It's just not beatable from these decks. That's how our opponent is 3-1. They're just like all in on Abiding Grace Spore Frog. To make spawns. I think I'll make spawns. I'm just gonna Ghost Quarter them 3 times. So yeah, I'll just get all the basics out of the deck this turn, and then I can Green Sun for my second Icetill and just kill all of their lands. I chose Scry. Oh, well, it's fine. Thought Picker Witch doesn't need to be repeatedly activated the same turn. Used to play it like Lantern. Well, the thing is, because they have Raise from the past, it's in Wild Cantor. It seems like they're trying to do like one big turn, but they can't do one big turn. I guess I'm letting them fungus on. Yeah, Icetill's been looking pretty good. So there's Haywire Might, 2 mystery cards. Haywire Might literally, blank against us. They did top deck a Biting Grace, which might make this game a little annoying, but not really losable. Although I guess maybe I should green send for Free Strider instead. I don't really need another. Icetill this turn because I have to tap a Ghost Quarter to do that. Can we get Titania down? We could, but then we only get to Ghost Quarter twice, and we saw last game that they only have 3 basics. So I think it's better to get the Strip Mine going this turn, and then the one thing they are able to do. So I guess they had 4 basics. The one thing that they are able to do is fog every turn. So it doesn't seem like we need to prioritize getting Titania down. Think we could turn this into a Heartless Summoning deck? Maybe. Isn't tapping the Ghost Quarter with another land the same though? Well, it's different because I could just have a Free Strider in play, which is ramping me, instead of like milling me for 2 every turn, which doesn't seem very good. My opponent says GG's. GG's to you. That was our 2-0 match. Now 3-0. This will probably end up making a YouTube video. Yeah, you can also watch the VOD if you're curious. Right, on the play with the Halfling. Nethergoyf. Fun. See if it's just Hollow One or if it's like Rakdos Cecil. Cool. Probably Rakdos Cecil. Could still be a weird Hollow One build, I guess. Do I want to K-Command the Channeler, just main phase? I think I want to go Halfling Rumble instead. So I could go next turn Free Strider plus either Field of Ruin or K-Command. Match 1, lost to Mono White Land Destruction. Match 2, 1 against Affinity. Match 3, 1 against Lantern. Match 4, 1 against Domain. Cool. Yeah, because I thought it might be Affinity because we were playing the Spore Frog or 6 loop for our first 2 matches, which were both against Affinity, and it seemed like a pretty good plan in the matchup. All right, so they're playing Jund? Just Jund. I'll probably if they just attack, I'll probably block the Halfling and then cast the K-Command. I'm kind of interested in just Scry drawing. Or sorry, Scry draw and spawns. So I think the 3 spawns are. I guess it's only 2 spawns. I think this is better than killing the Channeler. That might be wrong. Okay, I like both of these. So they played a 3/4 Goyf. They have 3 cards in their hand. I don't think I saw an email about a new format. To be honest, it's very unlikely I'll be interested. But if you send it to me again, I might respond to it. And if I don't, I'm sorry. Oh, the idea is you just Lantern control a Thought Picker Witch. Okay. They keep a card on top. Interesting attack with Ragavan. Makes me think they have Ridden 6 or Bowmaster. I'm gonna kill the Channeler. Although I do have the 6 to have reach. Yeah, I think them just being able to draw good cards this game potentially seems like something I want to avoid. So do they get Delirium to kill my Free Strider? They do. Yeah, that's it, Barry. Again, I just being honest, I'm unlikely to be interested, but I might read your email. What is this card? What is this league? What is that? I guess there's a new set just came out. This is crazy. Alright, let's take the Emrakul. It's going to cost 6, and I'm going to have 5. No, I'm going to have 6. Great. Oh, it costs 7 then. So I guess I play 6 so that if they Thoughtseize my Emrakul, I can try to like attack, draw a land, and then retrace. Alright, what do you flip? You flip a Urza Saga. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'm way happier playing against a couple of cool brews than energy. Cecil! I'm not complaining. Alright, it's going to be tough for them to beat an Emrakul with this Dark Confidant in play. They flip a Cecil. So I guess all we can really do is Legend Rule Cecil. I think now that they're at 13, I'm happy enough to attack with the Dark Confidant. I think it's better than the Ragavan here. Wait, Cecil can take the whole 13 damage? Alright, yet another Emrakul punt. Probably be fine. Good call, though. No, sorry. No, so that's not how that works. Cecil's not a Boros Reckoner. Cecil... You tricked me. Cecil deals itself the damage it deals, so it would deal with them too. Sorry, I also... Wait. Yeah, it's not a Jackal Pup. So they can get like a Shadow Spear and like get in and gain some life, maybe? It was a question. Yeah, I know. I also... I don't know. I played a lot of Cecil. I don't know how I got confused. Could have exiled their whole yard to unearth Goyf. I don't think that's good. I think just... I guess 2 0-1s is better than the 4-5. But then Urza Saga goes to the yard. It grows it. I don't think that's good. Did you ever consider Lutri on Saga when you deepen the Lutri Brews? Not really. Like, okay, so here's the problem with you Saga Lutri gamers. You identify this fact that you can't... Oh, they cast the research decks. You can play. You identify that you can play 4 sagas in your Lutri deck, and you think that this is good for some reason. No way they hit Molten Collapse for my Emrakul, man. That's crazy. Although I can just Emrakul again, right? If I hit a land. You identify correctly that yes, you can. I'm so stunned. This is a crazy game. That you can play for Urza Sagas, but playing 4 Urza Sagas in these kind of decks is just not good anymore. Like your stuff is just so small. I think I have to keep this in play so that if I hit just one land, or if I hit a land off the 6, I can retrace. Thankfully, they can't. They're not flipping the Cecil here to block the 6. All right, if I draw a land, I retrace. I think that's what I do at least. So if I retrace the Emrakul, I'm like blocking the Goyf. I think retrace Emrakul's got to be the line. It's like that, or I retrace Titania and like bring back Ghost Quarter. think this is better. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so I can Inquisition, get rid of their Channeler. Kill the Goyf. And try to dodge second Molten Collapse. Free Shredder, Retrace Endurance is the worst. Yeah, we had a few other good lines, so like it's not like we just had Emrakul, but we win. Great. If you can Emrakul and Ghost Quarter, it's basically Strip Mine. Yeah, that could come up for sure. Does my opponent know they're dead? I guess they're just trying to see like maybe I brain fart and block, right? The Cecil. Doing that would be way better if they like had kept their card in hand, because maybe I would like overthink it, but I think we'll find the line. Right. So 3-0 up a game against Jun Saga. Endurance seems great against the Goyf DRC deck. I'm interested in the Veils, they especially with the Molten Collapse in the deck. Maybe 2 on the draw, probably all 3 on the play. Spore Frog good? I'm going to leave it in, I think. We go down. I mean, I might cut just 3 of the Lookouts. It could be kind of bad on the draw against these kind of decks. Cut the 4th Explorer, probably, or the 2nd Explorer. We have played New Tezzeret in Dice Factory. I want to play New Tezzeret alongside Pinnacle Emissary at some point this week, where Pinnacle Emissary Tezzeret seems like you can ultimate it really quickly, and then obviously then putting 3 counters on the 1/1 flyers from Emissary seems like a good strategy. I don't know exactly how I want to build that, so I'm a little stuck, but I'm hoping to get to it sometime this week. I've got a couple more decks in the art. I think I only have like 2 or 3 more. I guess that's a couple. I have a few more decks in the box field that we can get to. I also want to play Enchantress this week. I want to play more Warp stuff. A lot to get to. Very, very deep set. Would multiple Icetill abilities explore stack? Yeah, so if you have 2 Icetill Explorers, that means that you can play 2 extra lands a turn. How powerful has New Tezzeret been? It's hard to evaluate. I didn't really like it that much in the Dice Factory deck. I do want to play more of it. I don't think our sample size wasn't very big, but like the thing about New Tezzeret is it seems really, really easy to ultimate. It seems so easy to ultimate that card, like the turn it comes down even, or the turn after. And in the Dice Factory build, we didn't build the deck in the way that the ultimate was particularly interesting or strong. So that was kind of the issue I had with it. So just take that. They probably have like 2 or 3 basics. Seems like we could run them out. Yeah, Tezzeret does seem good in Vintage. I agree. So I think I want to go Free Strider Ghost Quarter this next turn. I might Endurance them if they hit Delirium. They do hit Delirium. Yeah, I have so many Ghost Quarters I don't really care about the Spell Bomb. Maber in a Hardened Scale Shot. I'm not that interested in Tezzeret and Scales. It's possible I'm thinking about it wrong, but the thing is, like, Tezzeret's good when you cast a lot of artifacts in a turn, and Hardened Scales doesn't usually do that. They usually play 1 or 2. We did test Sultai Cosmogoyf. I don't think I really like Tragic Trajectory in that build so much. I just wanted to play it as some. I think that is a card I would not play in that build going forward. I did like the archetype overall, though. I think it was fine. like we went 2-0 into 2-3, but we lost twice to Affinity when our sideboard plan against it wasn't that good, which seems like pretty fixable with not creeping corrosion, but the creeping corrosion that kills Urza Saga and gives your opponent a bear, whatever that card's called. Could have had an extra free Strider trigger if we waited. Okay, well my plan is to next turn go Icetill, Ghost Quarter, so that I get the free Strider triggers off of my Icetill stuff. So I don't know. Seems okay. Oh, you mean off the endurance? Yeah, you're right. No, that was better to take 2 and then endurance for the crime. Forgot to commit a crime. Yeah, Fade from History, because that kills Urza Saga. We had this long talk about this. I'm gonna block. It does mean Unholy Heat kills it, but I think it's okay. I think they're just getting their free attack. Might double block Cecil this next turn. I milled my Titania, which could be a little awkward. We could also Shifting Woodland it, which could be good, you know. Okay, so they don't have any more basics. So next turn we can kill all of their lands, which is probably a good strategy. They have 4 cards in their hand, though. Isn't Woodland Titania next turn really good? Well, I don't have Delirium. Could get it. Okay, they do have another basic was in their hand, though. Yeah, people keep leaving in Haywire Might against me. I don't know what they think they're getting. Maybe they think I have Saga in my deck. They decide not to attack with the Channeler this time. That's kind of interesting. Let's go to 7. Much higher life total than 6, of course. Good chance I might Green Sun Zenith for Spore Frog. Let's just start off with at least 1 Ghost Quarter. Okay, now we have Delirium. Of the 1 card Delirium off the K command, so... Do I need to... Yeah, I think we just make 2 5/3s. Redbeard Angel with the 24 months. You know, my beard's kind of red in the summer usually. I guess attacking at the Titania is probably a bit better. Shouldn't matter a lot. Can't figure out what I would expect the control matchup to be. I mean, we have a main deck Emrakul, which makes things kind of inevitably fine for us game 1, and then I'm not sure how weird sideboard games get, but I would probably feel like I could comfortably navigate my way in a control matchup. Ah, we're dead. Do I want to get 2 more 5/3s? And I think I want a K command, the Dark Confidant, actually. Then maybe I should also just Green Sun Zenith for Sylvan Safekeeper to set up for Woodland Titania next turn. Seems okay. This maybe could be bad if my opponent goes like Land Nile Spellbomb, but I probably still at the head, right? So do that before we mill, so we don't mill the Safekeeper, of course. Okay, command and secret spectator card. I do really like casting this card. It's also like very objectively one of the least balanced cards ever made. I don't know. I really don't know what they're thinking with this one, but I do like casting it. It's very fun to. I like cards that give me a lot of choices usually. Well, I can cast that too. I think everybody has like poorly designed cards that they really like playing with. I guess we'll just cast the Emrakul. I'm going to Ghost Quarter them again, of course. I guess I could Ghost Quarter... I could Ghost Quarter them after I Emrakul them. Like, on the Emrakul turn. Oh, no, I have to tap the Ghost Quarter. Like Mox Opal? Yeah. I mean, everybody has a few cards like this that they really enjoy. GG's, that was pretty mean. GG's. Sorry about that. Sorry about the matchup. So I was going to attack with all the non-Cecil creatures, then heat the Cecil after the... Okay, I haven't lost a game this league. I haven't lost a game. Ugh, the tapped Woodland is tough, but I think I got to keep this on the draw on the blind. My opponent snap keeps 7. They got the Capybara Avatar. Think you're playing the coolest card image 3/6. Yeah, I like 6/2. My opponent says, oh hell nah. Good luck. Have fun. First time I have the honor to play Spike. Good luck, have fun. Okay, Affinity again. The Affinity matchup has been good. We are 2-0 against it this league. We have mostly via Spore Frogging. I might Ghost Quarter the Urza Saga next turn. Draw step Ghost Quarter probably. I usually play 1 basic. So now if I Ghost Quarter, I'm not doing anything next turn. It's kind of sucks. I think I'm still doing this. I don't know. As Affinity Land against Boros. Affinity builds are typically, like, historically slightly favored. It kind of depends on how many, like, sideboard cards are being played for it. Okay, well... Lost game 1 this time. Yeah, it's like, are they playing a lot of Wraths? Then it's probably their favorite. If they're not, then it's probably Affinity favored. Do you have fast Kappa Cannoneer that's really hard for them to beat sometimes? Maybe it's not that hard. Wait, okay, so I cut the Emrakul last time. I cut the Endurance, and then 1 Bobble, 1 Halfling, 1 Free Strider. Let's stick with the plan. Yeah, not gonna go completely undefeated this league. Was there a reason to Ghost Quarter on their turn? Yeah, their build plays usually 1 basic. So if we Ghost Quarter in their draw step, there's like a kind of a reasonable chance that they will have drawn their basic already, and then they'll be -1 mana. Yeah, Emissary definitely looks good. I queued up with the deck for you, Smash the Blue Belcher. I hope you enjoy every second that I'm unable to enjoy. How's this? And this is like a good one of. She's like, she makes mana, she draws you a card. She's, you know, not a huge deal in the deck. I think I'm going to mulligan this because of the Dryad Arbor. Yet again. And also, you know, didn't have Force of Vigor. I'm going to keep this hand, and I think I'm going to go put back the Forest, and I'm not going to Green Sun for Dryad Arbor. I'm going to try to save it for Collector Oof. I might need to pitch it to Force of Vigor. My opponent's still thinking on their 7. This only finds... It finds 1 Endurance, 1 Titania. And then post-board, sometimes more Endurances. Maybe I should have let on Field of Ruin so I could just K-command a 0-drop. It's kind of interesting. When I leave calls lane, I guess I just made a mistake. Well, now I get to keep the K command, but giving myself the option was good, I think. So I probably don't need to Force of Vigor the Saga since it's just gonna die and not get much. Okay, now I need to Force of Vigor the Saga, I think. Nice. Pretty nice. The stink to lose the second green sun, but I think they're too likely to pop off here. Gotta slow them down. Okay, I love that they're playing Treasure Vault. That's really good for us. I might just K-command this. I guess it doesn't keep them off Thoughtcast if they draw blue. Yeah, I'll just pass. Okay, now let's get rid of this. Okay, I already have 2 of those. Really don't want to field unless I draw a Ghost Quarter because I don't want to give them blue mana. Okay, there was Ghost Quarter. One more. Small mistap. No, I was getting a forest off the field. I didn't mistap. Alright, they're on a mulligan, which is good news. I'm gonna keep this, I think. Like, the fields are really good against them. We have a halfling, which is really good. The K command will probably be like a 2-mana 2-for-1 that kills like a 0-drop and draws a card, which isn't amazing. Also dig me for a hate card. Good top deck collector. Can't force a vigor it if you draw it naturally. A good draw. A good draw. Force of negation. This. They might dismember. Would you play one? No, I think Icetill's just so much better than Excavator. There's not really any reason to play it. Play like Azusa. Okay. Wow. That was easy. Top deck the perfect card. One of it your deck. 5-0. Should have been doing that this whole time. All right. We trophied. That was cool. Obviously, we got pretty lucky. Like, Affinity is a good matchup. We played against it 3 times. We played against the goofy Abiding Grace Brew. We played against, played all good matchups. But you're going to do that for your trophy sometimes. Icetill looks really good. I'm interested in playing Icetill in other decks. This build definitely more of a metagame thing where it's better against like the linear decks. Do not recommend playing this if Boros is super popular, which it might be. It might still be. But very, very fun deck. And this is the second time we've trophied with this like shell. It's not like, we haven't done this before. So keep an eye out for that. I'm going to eat some lunch. Awesome way to start the week, y'all. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. Hope you had as much fun as I did.